Hi guys! We'll be chatting about My Bloody Valentine from 1981 for our movie chat. Good old slasher film. Woo-hoo-hoo. I put the red lipstick on and now it's going all over my teeth because I thought, blood red lipstick, bloody hearts. Thought I had to give it a go. It's all over my teeth. Right, I just add everybody in. Let's add Emma in. Hopefully Emma holiday. So the lovely Sharon, very last minute, has said that she'll join us. So hopefully I've pressed the right button and someone appears. Yay! Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Are you okay?
Yeah, lovely
Who's there?
to see you.
Oh, can
I can't see anyone.
oh
Oh no,
Emma!
Emma.
Oh,
So sorry, I don't know.
I don't know why it keeps happening. Have you had Grace in? Right, just add Grace in and then we should all be here. Oh, sorry you can't see us. You maybe you might see Grace. Hi, Grace.
Hi.
Oh,
How are you guys? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you all
Hello.
right. Oh, Emma.
I'm really sorry.
Oh, Emma can't see anybody. Oh, do you want? I don't know whether it will help pop off and I can add you back in. See if that helps.
Yeah, how do I do that?
So is there like an X
Oh yeah.
across? I've got a little sickle on my teeth. Across. That's it. Oh, she's gone. Right. Let's see if we can add her back on. Oh, there's like a glitch on Instagram, and we can't figure out. It does it randomly and doesn't let people see each other. But fingers crossed.
I can see
Hi everyone.
you.
Yeah.
See you all.
Oh, that's good. Let's see. Emma's coming back on.
All right.
Fingers
We'll see.
crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. I don't if I
Attention
press
is killing me.
if I press the right button. Maybe I haven't. Hang on a second. Let's try invite Emma. Right. Yeah, Emma. Ooh.
Oh my
Nice
God.
hallway.
Hallway, Emma.
Give me out of sorts. Give me out
Disappeared.
of sorts. So yeah, I
Harry
can see Sharon. I
Potter.
can see Grace. I can't see you, Shelley.
Oh, you're not missing anything, honestly. I've got lipstick all over my teeth and just I've bags under my eyes. So
Bless you.
yeah. Oh, but thanks for joining us. So we're going to be chatting about a classic slasher, so My Bloody Valentine from 1981. So we're going to cross our heart and hope not to die during this chat. Hopefully, although Emma won't know if anything happens to me because she can't see me.
Well, you go quiet, darling.
Yeah, that's true. So we have the wonderful Emma joining us, and Sharon's jumped on very last minute to join us, haven't
20
you,
minutes
Sharon?
ago.
Yeah, I was like, oh, do you want to come on? Josh is on holiday, so I've got come on and chat with us. And we've got our very very special guest
Yeah.
Grace joining us again.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh, thanks, Grace. Thanks for joining us. I know it's like really early in the morning there. Is it like 10 o'clock or something?
10 a.m. over here in LA. Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad
It's
then.
not so bad.
Yeah. So this classic slasher. So I just did a little fun synopsis. So a decade-old tale surrounding a deranged murderer killing those who dare to celebrate Valentine's Day, and it turns out to be a true legend when the killer goes after a group of people who defy the rules and has a Valentine's party. And we get lots of dead bodies. I've got really bad lipstick all over my teeth. I thought I'd go for like the bloody Valentine look, and I'm like, well, it's just going everywhere. So producers Andre Link and John Dunning said the film's origin came about when they sought to find a holiday which a slasher film had not been set on during the slasher-fic boom of the 80s. So they settled on Valentine's Day, and in order to keep the idea from being copied, they made the film's working title The Secret.
Yeah.
And though they had the release title in mind the whole time of My Bloody Valentine, and apparently we'll have a chat about it later, but the MPAA cut about more than 5 minutes out of the film before it came out, mostly because there was some backlash at the time. I think John Lennon had died, and there was some like backlash about violent movies at the time, so they tried to make it less violent, I guess. But yeah. But we'll have a little chat about those cutscenes because Grace sent me a really good article and I was reading it just before the chat and I was like, oh, I wish
You
we'd
see the
seen these
gnarly
things.
pictures?
Yeah, they were so
Of all the
cool.
cutscenes. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I'll have to share that link after. It was such a good
Yeah.
link. Like just to even read like all the bits that were cut out. I just saw Larissa said another great Canadian slasher to accompany Black Christmas. Yeah, definitely. Matthew said lots of bad poetry to go with the bodies too. So much bad poetry. So was My Bloody Valentine a first time watch for you, or are you a fan of the movie, Grace?
Oh my goodness. I love this movie so much. No, not a first time watch at all. Probably my first memory of the movie is as a kid seeing it in the video store and being terrified of the cover, not understanding. Seeing a masked, let me just show you the cover.
Yeah.
Seeing the masked photo of a man, you know, with blood dripping down.
Yeah,
It's
that's
rather terrifying to a kid
terrifying.
to see. So
Yeah.
I saw the cover in the video store as a kid, but I didn't see it until much later in life. But I absolutely love it. I mean, it's a holiday horror movie, which you know is a really fun genre for me, and I
Yeah.
love it. It holds up to the test of time. You know, it's still the kills are still shocking and gnarly. I don't know if y'all have seen the uncut version, but some of the scenes don't make sense without seeing the full version. So
Oh,
I
wow.
highly recommend it. Yeah, but it's so much fun. I love this movie.
Oh, oh wow. We'll have a little chat about the kills and then maybe you can share some of the like uncut bits. Because you've got that was your VHS and you've got the uncut VHS as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so my Instagram friend, shout out to my friend Cosmo on Instagram. He actually made this bootleg, which is the director's cut. There are a few scenes that are just lost in time. I think the original 35 millimeter negative is just gone at this point. But what was able to be salvaged was inserted into the
Wow.
director's. So
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the color had to be corrected for the cut scenes that are inserted in. But yeah, they're gnarly. Like the kills, for example, the very first scene of Harry and the girl in the mines, and she's got the heart tattoo.
Yeah.
Um, the uncut version, she gets impaled from the back, and then the pickaxe comes out through the heart tattoo in the front, and you don't see that in the normal version. So you're
Oh,
kind of like, well, what's
wow.
going on? She's just screaming. Okay, I guess she's dead. But yeah, in the uncut version, the pickaxe comes out through her heart.
Yeah.
So there's a lot missing that really kind of just adds a lot more. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense to the kills.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, how about you, Emma? Have you seen this one before?
no, I've never seen it. This is a first time watch for me. And I was almost tempted to watch the new one after. I didn't know because I was late
I
when I watched
did.
that. I thought I won't sleep. Watch another one. But yeah, I'm interested in the remake and probably watching that as well because yeah, I've never seen anything set on Valentine's Day like that before. And that's interesting about the gore because I actually did think to myself that should have gone right through her heart because it's Valentine's um,
Yeah.
horror. So yeah, that's interesting. We've gone through
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it makes so much more sense. I watched the sequel straight after I rewatched the first one because I've not the sequel. What am I
The
on about?
remake.
The remake. After I rewatched the original, and I was like, why? Why did they have to do this? Other than like Tom Atkins and Kerr Smith was good in it, and obviously Jensen, but yeah, I wasn't too much of a fan of the remake, but anyway. How about you, Sharon? You're a fan of the film, aren't you?
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I always thought that the pickaxe should come through a heart and a heart should be attached to it
Oh,
because that would be the best
yeah.
thing, right? That would be brilliant. I said blast from the past for you, Shelley. I saw this film at Birmingham Odeon. They used to do a
Wow.
midnight showing for all the new horror films from the US
Yeah.
in the early 80s. And I saw this when I was 13 in 1982.
Oh,
And
Wow.
a midnight showing. The next week was Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not a wonder I'm as traumatized as I am, really. And but yeah, so I love it, and I usually rewatch it on Valentine's Day, and I didn't
Mm.
this year, so I watched it today. But it's just such a fun film,
Yeah, yeah,
brilliant.
definitely. Yeah. And I think the first time I watched this film was only like last year or the year before. Because I think I did a chat with Eddie's video and we was
Yeah,
just like doing first time watch chats. So I'd only seen it a couple of years ago and I've got no excuse to the reason why I hadn't seen it before. But yeah, I just loved it and rewatching it, I just loved it even more. I thought it was just, yeah. And now I'm definitely going to make it an annual rewatch. Definitely.
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
Definitely.
It's
I
brilliant.
love it. Milena said that this was a first time watch for me and it totally gripped me. Yay. And Narissa said, hey Emma, did you notice a little similarity to Friends Come and Go round and round in the dryer?
I did.
There's a
I
point
absolutely
horror.
did. Do you
Yeah,
know, I
point.
absolutely guessed that as well. I thought this is going to be a point horror all over again.
Yeah, so in Homecoming Queen, there's a washer dryer death in the Point Horror Homecoming Queen,
Oh, Crispy
which
Mabel, Crispy
yeah.
Mabel. We love Crispy
Oh,
Mabel.
Oh,
Crispy Mabel. Well, Milena messaged me earlier when she was watching it, and she said, "I'm traumatized because Mabel was out of Anne of Green Gables, and now I've seen her in a different light." Oh, oh, bless. Matthew said, holiday horror, what's not to love? There is just something special about a holiday horror, I think. Definitely just something special.
This is the only one, isn't it? I can't think of an apart from not the Valentine's Day Massacre one. There's no other one, is there?
There's Valentine, which
Time,
we
but that doesn't
covered.
count.
I don't count. Count.
Doesn't count.
Uh,
And then there's that new one that's come out. I haven't seen it yet.
oh, Hard Eyes.
That Heart Eyes. Have you seen that, Grace?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet. I was supposed to go
Yeah.
to see a preview of it, and it started raining, and I didn't want to drive in the rain. But I've heard really great things about it, so I do want to see it.
Yeah, I know Josh has seen it and he was like, Shelley, you've got to see it, you've got to go and see it. So yeah, if Josh recommends it, then I think it would be good. Oh, Matthew says I couldn't decide whether to watch the remake or not. Thanks for saving me the time, Shelley. No, still give it a go.
I
Like
still
it
like
might just
the
be.
remake. You know, Tom
There you
Hanks
go.
is in it. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. Like the only thing that saves it is Tom Atkins. No, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
that bad. It is okay, but it suffers a lot from because obviously, well, this is just my opinion, but it was obviously released as a 3D film
Yeah.
in the cinemas, and I think
loses
it
it.
doesn't translate very well, yeah, to like just watching it at home because some of the CGI is like really like it does look dated. Yeah, and obviously
That
it's
makes
coming
sense.
out to you, but there was one kill like at the beginning, so I'm not spoiling anything, but where the woman's head like just gets completely sliced, but it suffers from that late 2000s CGI
Oh
like
no.
movement where it's just like not, yeah. But that's just my opinion. I'd love people to watch it, and Tom Atkins is still sexy in it, so you know.
He's
He's
still sexy.
still got it. Oh dear, definitely. RJ Bland said I rewatched this on Valentine's Day. Yeah. 90s Kids Library said I saw the remake in theatres when it first came out. I thought it was done. You should watch it in 3D. Yeah, if you have the chance. Yeah. But it's a different experience in 3D. And we need Tom Atkins in 3D. That would be cool. Yeah, 90s Kids Library said not nearly as good as the original.
Of course.
Narissa said Valentine is dreadful. I quite like Valentine.
I did not like that one.
Did you know that Valentine has a 4% rating on Rotten Tomatoes? 4%.
I'm
Wow.
1%.
That sounds very bad.
quite like it. I don't like the ending, but I quite like. Basically, it's just Denise Richards like sells it in Valentine. I think that
Yeah,
she was the
Denise is
best
great.
person. Melina said, properly traumatized by Mabel. Yes.
Or Mabel.
Oh, poor Mabel. So yeah, so the film was apparently shot in authentic mines, which were often like 900 feet underground. Only certain lighting devices could be used in the mines because of the danger or explosions, even. So, what did you think of the filming location? Did it feel authentic, or are you glad that they used real mines instead of like, sets? Emma?
Yeah, I am glad that they did. I think that's really dangerous for the actors, though,
Yeah.
to explode with the lighting. But yeah, I do, because I don't think it would have been as creepy. I wouldn't have bought into it as much. It was really eerie. I thought, there's no way I'm going down there. I don't know why you're doing that. There's absolutely no way I would ever go
I
down there. Although,
wouldn't.
no, I want to ride on the little mine cart things. From playing a lot of that Minecraft with my kids and them setting me off on little roller coasters on that. I'd like to try that. But other than that, no, it's so creepy down there and scary, and it just screams death.
Oh, definitely. How about you, Sharon? Did you like the authenticness of the mines?
You could tell it was real, couldn't you? You could tell it was a real mine. Although those clothes hanging from the ceiling were a bit weird. I don't know if that's a regular thing in the
Oh,
mine.
yeah,
It was a
that's
bit odd, wasn't it?
creepy.
But it was
Yeah.
proper. It was. It gave it atmosphere, and it became real. Well, especially when they were trapped down there, and you realise how far down they are, and they can't get out. It was
Mm,
very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so yeah, I hope they got danger money for
Mm,
doing it. It must have been so
mm,
dangerous for the actors down there.
yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, I did. I really enjoyed the location.
Yeah. How about you, Grace? Do you like the authentic
Oh
mines?
my God. Yeah, I was reading that they filmed on location at an abandoned mine in Nova Scotia in
Ah,
Canada, and I read
Oh.
that they clean as a courtesy they cleaned up the mine beforehand for the production, and then the production's like, no, 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 we want it grungy. Like this is a horror movie.
Oh.
It's supposed to be dirty and
yeah.
gross. So I read online that they actually spent a significant amount of their budget to re-dirty up the mines.
Oh no. So was it the
Because
town? So the
they
town
wanted
cleaned it.
an authentic grungy, dirty mine,
Yeah.
not a clean pristine. So
Oh. Can you
but
imagine that being the talent scout and like, I found this really dirty mine, and then they go and show all the rest of them, and it's like pristine because the town's
Gleaming.
cleaned it.
yes, I'm
Oh
seeing a lot
wow.
of comments though that's saying like phobias of being trapped underground. Absolutely, like I
Oh,
would be terrified if I was an actor and having to shoot every day, like hundreds of
mm,
miles underground. Like the fear of like, what if I get trapped? What if there's an earthquake? What if
Yeah.
oh,
there's an explosion?
yeah.
That happened.
What if the
So
electricity went?
Oh,
Because
yes,
yeah.
I did a
yes,
yeah, I
terrifying.
did a mine tour once. This was in the States actually. I think it was in Montana, but we went down into a mine, and they said, "Okay, we're going to turn the torches off," and it is pitch. I mean,
Oh,
so black you can't. It's a blackness I've never experienced. So
mm,
the idea of being trapped down there and then losing the light,
Yeah.
it's
Like
yeah.
Chisholm's
proper
Caves.
claustrophobic.
Have you
Mm.
done that? Chisholm's Caves, when they turn all the lights off and then
Yes.
scream and then bash at
Oh
the
my God, it's
song.
horrible.
Oh,
Because there's no light anywhere.
That's
It's
Oh
just
creepy.
pitch. It's
wow.
just. It's like being dead. It's like there's just you can't fathom that you can't see anything.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So they were very very brave, very brave.
yeah.
Yeah, there's almost like a real when it's like really pitch black and you can't see anything. There's that almost like that deadly
Yeah.
silence that just comes over you as well, doesn't it? Oh no, I couldn't do it. I'm too scared. You know what I'm like? I'd do it if like I could like hold someone very tightly.
Depends who
Maybe.
was offering.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would kill her.
No, in my look, I'd just get lost in the like I'd be like, oh, I need a wee, and you'll say, go and just huddle over there, and then you'd all leave me, and then like I'd get lost. Yeah, that would be me. Oh no, I couldn't do it. No, I'm too scared. But I thought it was really authentic, and like I don't know how those actors did that. And yeah, I hope they did get paid more for doing it as well. But apparently the cast did arrive like a couple of weeks before shooting, so they could get a feel of like the town and the lifestyle, and obviously give them a chance to bond as like friends. And then they found out like how to wind the locals up, and a few heavy drinking nights apparently. So do you think this was a good idea and it came across on the screen with the group of friends? Like, what did you think of the cast, Sharon?
You could tell, I think, couldn't you? I think you
Yeah.
could tell that they'd had some time together, because I know they're following a script, but the way that they bantered together, it was like a group of friends. It felt quite real. I thought you don't get that a lot in films, I
Yeah.
find.
Yeah.
But they all seem to quite like each other,
Yeah.
and so I think you could tell that they'd bonded before they did the film. And that should happen more often, I think, especially in something like that when there's a full cast.
Yeah.
They should do that more often, because you could really tell the difference. And yeah, I thought you could tell.
Yeah, especially during like the bar scenes when they're all just sitting around drinking. Like you kind of think, like, was that part of the film, or did they just film them while they were actually
Maybe
drinking? How about you, Grace? Could you tell that they'd bonded before, and did you like the cast?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I love that they got to bond a little bit beforehand, because it's supposed to be a small town feel, right? It's supposed to be a very close-knit community of people. And so you really get the sense of familiarity with the gang, the closeness that these people share, because it's such a small town, and it's just day in and day out in the small town, and the feel of like, gosh, we want to leave so bad, all we have is each other. So you get that sense of community, seeing this, tight knit group of, kids in this small town, and it was effective for sure to have them bond beforehand.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Emma? What did you think?
Yeah, I thought they came across as authentic. Definitely, like everyone else has said, they seemed like they had bonded together and they were really good friends. And that's why I didn't quite buy the rivalry between the two lads, because they seem to quite like each other, really.
I think there's a thing there, really.
I think there was a romance there.
Absolutely.
Romance going on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
And I love the contrast as well between like, and I know this was the point, but the contrast between like the older people of the town and the younger people. But I always think, well, both times I've watched this film, I think surely like, this hasn't just come up, like if he's meant to come back every Valentine's, as the legend says, like surely these kids have wanted to do a party before. Was it just because it was like 20 years or something, or why was it then that they wanted to do the party? That's the only thing I didn't pick up on.
I don't think they were allowed to. I think they've been told off. Yeah, like not allowed to do it for the last, was that right? Like 20 years, because it's too dangerous.
So this is like the first time they were actually allowed, because there were like enough times passed now. We should be allowed to party.
And also, TJ had come back, hadn't he? And he's something to do with the mine, so he got access. So I think perhaps that
because his dad owned the mine, wasn't it?
So perhaps that's another reason.
Matthew says the underground aspect was the scariest thing for me. I have a phobia of being trapped underground, and so that makes the film so much scarier. Yeah, definitely.
Being buried alive is called. Philophobia is called. The idea of being buried alive is what most people are frightened of, not claustrophobia. Although if you go through catacombs where it's narrow and everything collapses on you, that's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I am.
Oh no, same. Larissa said never mess around in mines. Nope, no way.
No,
definitely not. Yeah, Matthew says all catacombs. That's how I got my phobia of underground, in the catacombs in Lima, Peru. Larissa said good on those actors. I'd be far too terrified. And Dawn, hi Dawn. Dawn said it's enough to give anyone nyctophobia. Is that what you just said, Sharon?
Fear of the dark.
All these big words I'm learning. Narissa said, why would you do that, Sharon and Dawn? Like, go down.
Well, they didn't tell us they were going to do it. So it's like, it's just like, we're going to turn the lights off now. And we all went, what? What?
I'd be like, no, take me back up. Matthew said the guys certainly seem to have bonded in that locker room and the parking lot scene. Yeah, I expected them to break out in song like in a musical. Definitely. Larissa said it's like caving. What's the appeal? Lol. You know,
Agree.
like
No,
people go through
no.
like, oh, that sometimes they come up when I'm like scrolling on TikTok and they're like going through like tiniest little holes in caves and then squeezing through like just no,
Oh, thank
just
you.
gives me like yeah. Larissa said the scariest part of the descent, the film, was the rocks shifting. Forget the monsters. Yeah.
Agree.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Agree.
couldn't do that. Definitely not. So obviously I mentioned so the film plays heavily into the local legend in the small town of Valentine's Bluff of Harry Warden, who after a mining accident killed several people, and Harry Warden was found eating a nice chunky arm.
Wow.
He's having a right old chobble, wasn't he?
Oh, I mean, he looks starving, to be honest. I don't really blame him, but
Needs
yeah,
must.
so obviously he got carted off, and then 1 year later he came back to the town and did a load of murders. And he warned never to hold the Valentine's dance again. And then every Valentine's Harry's meant to come back, and if they don't heed the warning, then he goes on a killing spree. So, did you like the whole backstory and the looming potential that Harry has returned for revenge? Grace?
Oh man, I love a good revenge plot. I
Mm.
mean, here he is, he's just an innocent miner working underground, and then everyone's like, "Peace out! It's Valentine's Day, let's go!"
Yeah.
And because of the supervisor's negligence and like just leaving him, he gets trapped for what was it like a few 6 weeks it was.
Yeah.
6 weeks later, they found him, and then he's like having like a barbecue with with a severed arm. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah, I would
I
be.
do love that legend where it's like every holiday he'll come on back and screw Valentine's Day, look what happened to me, so don't you dare have another party. um
Yeah.
yeah. I was going to say what I didn't like about it is that, he indiscriminately killed instead of just focusing on those who wronged him, because
Mm.
Yeah.
we'll talk about her later, I'm sure, but what a heartbreak for
Oh,
Mabel.
oh, Mabel.
I
Bless.
know.
Be Mabel.
Crispy. So crispy.
But yeah, I do agree with you there, Grace. You'd think that like he'd just come back and seek revenge on the people that
Yeah.
wronged him, but he just sought revenge on anyone who
Yeah.
dared
Yeah. I
celebrate
think
Valentine's.
Yeah, I think it was just like screw Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna get you if you dare to celebrate. So
Definitely. Oh, how about you, Emma? Did you like the whole legend around the town and Harry?
I do like a legend, and I like a grumpy old man behind a bar telling all the kids, "You're gonna get
Oh,
it."
he was so
You're
good.
but I did think that I immediately thought, though, unfortunately, this is not the killer.
Ah,
Absolutely 100% knew from the start, from the legend, he's back. I'm like, he's not. So that was
wow.
one thing that I felt needed a tweak, or I don't know what, but in my mind it was like he's not back at all. So there needed to be something to make me think that he was back, and there wasn't anything there. I don't
Mm,
think we got enough of his backstory, maybe, and maybe that was something that was cut, like Grace says, it doesn't always make sense. Maybe there was
mm.
something cut out that would have made me think, oh yeah, he's back, but I didn't. I thought right from the start, no, not that, not
Oh,
happening. Yeah.
interesting. Whereas I was like, oh, he's come back.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. I always remember when I first watched it a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, he's back for revenge and stuff. And then the twist happens, which we'll chat about, and I was like, oh, it did get me. I have to admit, it did get me at the time. And Dawn's put, I like a grumpy man
Yeah,
behind a bar.
we all.
Dawn. dear.
Oh dear. How about you, Sharon? Do you like the whole like legend of the town scenario?
I do, but I agree with Emma. I think I didn't think it was him coming back at all. And I didn't the
Ah.
first time I watched it. And there was part of me that thought, oh, is that the red herring? Because, of course, there was, Halloween with Michael Myers coming back all the time.
Mm,
Thought, is that the red herring? They're trying to make you think he's not coming back and he's somebody else.
yeah.
But, yeah, I agree. There's maybe something. Oh, Dawn's got a daddy vibe.
Daddy vibes.
On, don't start, Dawn.
Dawn, you need to me. But yeah, I did love I love the legend of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I did find it funny. The idea he comes back every year, and if they have a party, he's going to kill people. So does he just come and walk around and go, oh, well, no party. They like murdering people. I'm going to wander back off again. I mean, what does he do?
I'll go and have a cup of tea now.
If he's psychotic, right, or psychopath, because he's gone mad, they go, oh, well, nobody's turned up. I best go home.
Oh,
I mean, I just think it's a bit weird.
bless
That was a
him.
bit weird to me, but I loved it, I love a revenge plot.
Do you remember, Grace, when you first saw it, did you know that wasn't real and then there was going to be a twist? Can you remember?
I wanted it to be Harry Warden coming back.
Yeah,
I want
so did I.
me too.
To be back, still seeking his revenge. Like, I told you not to have a party. You didn't listen to me. So I thought it was Harry. I wanted it to be Harry. I wanted him to continue to, you didn't listen to my warning. You didn't heed my warning. So you're going to pay the price. I wanted it to be him.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I'm just a dum-dum who never sees the twist anyway, right?
I'm the same.
In any point horror book I read, I never see the twist coming anyway. But yeah, I didn't know. I didn't see it. I wanted it to be Harry.
I wanted it to be
like
Harry too. I was hoping it was, but I thought, oh, it did. But as you say, as Emma said, maybe something was cut out that would have made sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. I did like the whole legend. I do love a good legend, and I did want it to be Harry, and it did get me on the first watch when I first saw it. But I'm easily fooled, so it doesn't surprise me.
And you guys, we even get a song in the credits about the legend of Harry Warden. So yeah, we get a whole a ballad about him. So
Harry.
I love that though. At the end, when the credits come up and then that ballad comes on, and I'm like, oh, like this is like really creepy and eerie, and I'm like, oh, oh dear, yeah. But they didn't. I don't think they released. Did they release the soundtrack, Grace, in the end?
They have there's a new soundtrack that's been re-released. I don't have the cassette. I have the cassette somewhere. I can grab it later. But yeah, TerrorVision released it on cassette. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Mondo might have released it on record. So it is available now. Yes.
Oh wow. Brilliant. Matthew said after 6 weeks below ground, his clarity might have been distorted. I probably would have been out for anybody that was overground while I was underground. Yeah.
And he was starving, bless him, wasn't he?
Yeah, bless him.
On
Matthew said Harry would have to have trained to get ready for Valentine's Massacre 20 years after going insane the first time. It gets harder with age. Yeah, I'd imagine. You'd have to be fit to pull that off. Yeah, you've got to pick up that like pickaxe.
That's it. Hoist bodies up.
Oh no, because them things are heavy, right? They're like super heavy.
Depends how you swing them. If you swing them a certain way, there's no weight to them.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me? That sounds like from experience.
I'll remember that when I try it on Kevin later. I'll be like, let me test my pickaxe out.
You sound like Harry Warden's protege.
Yeah. Harry.
I should admit there is my dad now.
Harry's your dad.
Daddy issues. It's the problem.
So as well as the threat of a killer on the loose, we also have the rival love interest of Axel and TJ over the gorgeous Sarah. Oh, she's very beautiful.
So
Um,
lovely. Yeah.
oh, I just like when they do the close-ups of her, like I just think, oh, she's just so gorgeous. She's beautiful. So do you think that this rival love story was needed for the film, or do you think we could have done without it? Were you team TJ or team Axel? Emma?
I think it added to it, because it had me wondering which of the boys was going to be really the actual bad guy. So I did guess this quite early on. And so my husband didn't. He thought it was the old guy behind the bar. I said, he can't lift that body up. He said, he said, it's going to be like Scooby-Doo, these meddling kids. And I said, no, it's not. But yeah, so we had a bet on who we thought was going to be the bad guy. But yeah, I think it kept you guessing as to who actually out of these two is the real bad guy. Are they, because they seem to be on par with each other the whole way through. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it did add to it. And obviously Sarah was a great final girl. I would have liked her to be the final girl, just her coming out on her own covered in blood or something, after she'd killed the killer. But yeah, I thought she was great. Yeah, she was very feisty and took charge, and yeah, I just thought she was brilliant.
How about you, Sharon? Did you like the love story aspect? And were you TJ or Axel? Who was you like rooting for?
Makes me vomit. So I find it quite difficult. I wasn't either of them. I thought she should have dumped them both and got somebody new. In my opinion, I thought she was too good for both of them. But yes, I did. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of romance in horror. I just want to see people die. I don't want to see people kiss. So, there's that.
But no, they kiss and then they die, though. Always, right? Always they there's a little hanky panky first, and then they get killed.
That's
it.
It's like one of my favourite scenes is those two getting skewered by the mining equipment. It's like, did you not read the instruction? If you have sex in a horror film, you die. Did they not know? That was my favourite. It was like, skewered.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
And I think in the one of the scenes that were cut, you do see that in more graphic detail, don't you, Grace? I'm sure you do. That skewer scene.
Yeah, I wondered that.
The couple?
Yeah,
the couple.
That's the one scene that they can't find
with
the original.
No.
I was reading that that was actually the director's favorite scene because he said it was very poetic and very Romeo and Juliet, that these lovers are together forever in eternity, skewered together, but I guess that was one of the cut scenes, and it's never to be
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, the movie was recently remastered with the scenes, I think, on Blu-ray in 2019, and I think most of the scenes were put back except for that one scene. It's long gone. So, but that was the director's favorite scene where they get skewered together on a
what a shame.
Quite romantic.
So it's romantic. What more could we ask for on a date?
I need to check the rules. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely. So did you like the whole love rival aspect, Grace, of TJ and Axel?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, there's always going to be like, an underlying, what's an underlying romantic rival, in addition to the horror, right? So that's what's going on while Harry Warden supposedly is out, murdering the whole town. So, what TJ did wasn't the best thing. And Sarah forgives him, but yeah, they're both kind of scoundrels, right? And Axel's energy coming right off the bat, like, she's mine, and taking his claim, and they're both scoundrels, but I appreciated a good love triangle in a horror movie.
And like, I just found TJ like because he looks like an actor from modern day. I can't think who it is. He was in Star Wars, the new Star
Oh,
Wars.
did he pay the pilot?
Oh,
Yeah, he looks like him,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
And I was
I don't know
like,
what his name is in Star
yeah,
Wars. Yeah, I know what you
you
mean.
know who I mean? And I was like, I just couldn't unsee it. So I had to look to see if like he was any relation, but they're not related as far as I could tell. But I was like, God, he looks like a carbon copy of him. And I was like, very good looking. um, but yeah, I loved I did like the rivalry between them. I think it did add to it because I think it gave it more stakes when Sarah went down into the mine because obviously then they had to work together to go and save her. So I think that was a good aspect for me on that because they had to go and we've got to save her. And then obviously before the twist, when Axel obviously falls in the water like this, like TJ is a bit like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
whatever.
gone. It's like 600
One less thing
foot
for me to
deep.
worry about.
Yeah, he
yeah.
didn't like.
Not even
He
going to
weren't
try.
bothered.
Not going to jump in and try and save him.
Yeah,
He wasn't bothered, was he? He was like, "Oh, he's long gone now. Don't worry
whatever.
about it. Come with me, Sarah."
Moving on.
Narissa said, "You make me worry for Kevin in every one of these chats, Shelley. He's alive, I promise." If the police are watching, I can prove it. Narissa said, "I've never bothered about love stories in these kind of stories." Yeah. Dawn's laughing at. I just want to see people die, Sharon.
Already what I'm signing up for.
um, Tommy's just joined the chat and he said he's watching Cocoon. Oh, I haven't seen
Oh,
that film for years.
I love Cocoon.
Oh, so
Oh,
do
yeah,
I.
I haven't
Yes.
seen that for so long. Might have to watch that now. Matthew said, I think between the love rivalry and the over-the-top Valentine's decorations everywhere, especially in the laundromat, this is one. This is the most Hallmark Channel horror films ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Erica Sweets and Heart said, skewered together. Yes. Oh dear, we like a good. I was going to say we like a good skewer together.
Only you,
Oh dear.
Shelley.
I know. Yeah. Proof of life, Shelley. Dawn saying, you guys are sick. So we've talked a lot about characters. So do you have a favourite character overall in the film? Grace, who was your favourite?
Oh gosh, well, other than Mabel, who I just keep talking about, because she was just so sweet
Oh, she
and so
was.
pure, just so pure. She just wanted to celebrate love.
Mm,
She was so
Oh,
happy to get, Art Valentine. So
yeah.
sad. But other than Mabel, whom I know we all love here, I really love the character of Patty, played by Cynthia
Yes.
Gale, who is
Yeah.
so lovely, so beautiful, and I loved her, absolutely loved her in a movie called Heavenly Bodies, which she
Oh.
was in maybe 4 years after this movie. I don't have the VHS with me, but this is the video disc. This is her on the cover, and this movie is
Oh,
amazing.
oh, I've
wow.
Yeah,
not
she
seen that.
Oh, it's so
Mm.
great. It's so great. This was a couple years later, and what was her famous line in this movie? It was like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear a dress and it's cut down to here and split up to there. I'll be lucky if I get out alive."
Oh, I love that line. I love that line. It's so brilliant. She
Yeah,
was such a great character.
yeah, I mean, she's also so sweet and also so pure, and she also just wants to celebrate love, and she's so distraught when her boyfriend
Mm,
gets, the nail gun in the head, right? And she's like, I can't
yeah.
leave him, and she just goes catatonic, right? But yeah, so
Yeah.
R.I.P. Patty. She was.
Oh, love Patty. Yeah,
Poor
definitely.
Patty.
How about you, Emma? Did you have a favourite character overall?
Yeah, actually, Patty's boyfriend.
Oh,
I love the guy with the
oh,
mustache, right?
yes.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he was like the nicest out of the bunch, like the
Yeah.
nicest guy out of the bunch, and he was actually trying to keep an eye on everyone and keep everybody safe. And and then I was really sad when he died. I was like, oh no.
Oh,
I wanted him to make it out.
Yeah.
oh, bless him.
Yeah, and they seem like a genuine couple, like not kind of fighting over each other because I want the prettiest girl or this, that, and the other. They seem like the most genuine of the couples,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, definitely. How about you, Sharon? Did you have a favourite
I
character?
agree. Hollis, his name was. I loved.
Alice. Yeah.
I thought I agree. They were the most realistic couple to me. I loved Patty too. I thought those two together were just lovely, and I would have liked to see them be the two finals at the end.
Yeah.
Really, for me.
Yeah.
And of course, I adored Crispy Mabel. I loved her. I thought she was just the sweetest woman. She'd obviously got a thing for the sheriff, hadn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought, oh, she didn't deserve that, did she? Death by dryer. Didn't deserve that. But yeah,
No.
so yeah, I think those are my favourites. Yeah.
Crispy Mabel. My favourite was Patty because I just loved that whole scene when they were getting her to climb the ladder
Yeah.
and that scene went on for like way longer than it should have as well. But I loved her because they were like, keep going, Patty, keep going. And they were really like, they were being good, they were encouraging her. And she's like, I'm scared of heights. And it came really across really authentic. Like that would be how I would be trying to climb a ladder, which is like straight up and you're trying to get out of the mine. And
she's
she was
wearing
doing it in
heels.
those heels, yeah.
Those
And a
heels.
slip dress.
Yeah, those heels. And I also love the scene after Hollis is killed, R.I.P. Hollis. But when she's like hysterical and like Sarah slaps her one, not just a little slap, like a huge slap,
Big
and
like,
she's like, oh, like she doesn't like it's like this has happened before and Sarah's had to do this before. But I just loved her. And I mean, again, like Sarah, such a stunning, pretty actress, pretty lady, as well. But I wish it was Sarah and her left at the end,
yes.
if I'm honest. Yeah, definitely would have liked that. Definitely. So did you have a favourite? Are we all in agreement that Mabel was a favourite kill, or did you
Yeah.
have another favourite kill? Sharon?
Oh, I did. Well, yeah, Crispy Mabel's my favourite. But I also loved Mark and Sheila, in the shower, where they basically
Oh yeah.
head.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And it's a shame you can't see more of that because all you can see is the water coming out of her mouth. And so I thought that was a great kill. And the skewered together people, like some twisted barbecue. I loved that too.
Yeah, definitely. I think so one of the cut scenes that they found was to do with her death being put onto the water pipe, I think, from that article you sent me, Grace.
Really, really clever visually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a bit of an idiot, wasn't he? Mark, his name was. He was a bit
Total drip.
But yeah, but her death was great, I thought.
You know what made me laugh with that Mark is the cut scene. So when they all leave the mines, like they go and bump into the sheriff or something, and there's a scene and he's got all snot coming down his nose. And I was watching it on like Corey's TV, which is like bigger than mine, and I could really see it was all like all congealed, and I was like, Mark.
And they got there right. I mean, that wasn't his natural hair, was it? I mean, he just looked weird, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a little bit.
Perhaps I'm being cruel, and that's actually his real colouring. But it looked weird.
Herman Monster.
Yeah, a bit square.
Yeah. Oh, how about you, Grace? Did you have a favourite kill? Was it Mabel?
No, actually, I think well, every single death scene was edited in this movie to appease the MPAA. But the one kill that was it was extremely cut was the innkeeper, the one who once upon a time, 20 years ago, the innkeeper's death when he's like playing the prank.
Yeah.
And he's got like the whole outfit of Harry in the door, and he keeps opening, ha ha ha, and then he gets it. Yeah, there were quite a few shots missing from that kill because Harry hooks him underneath the chin, and the pickaxe comes out through his eye.
Oh,
It is gnarly.
Oh,
oh,
that would have been
oh.
great.
So, and you see Harry pick him up, the innkeeper, and by the hook in his chin. So he's like dangling up in the air and his eyeballs out. It's disgusting.
Oh.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
So,
Oh, that's
That's
so
yeah,
cool.
cool.
you'll have to
I've
see
got to
the,
try and find these uncut scenes
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. And like, it's such a shame because when you know, obviously this was 1981, and when you know what's to come in like 80s horror, like down the line, it's such a shame that this suffered from having to be cut back like
Yeah.
that because that would have been so,
Mm.
so cool. How about you, Emma? What was your favourite kill? Was it Mabel? Crispy Mabel?
Obviously, yeah, obviously Death in the Dryer. That's the top one. I knew it as well. Because I know, we all knew it because we've read that point horror, so we were all waiting for it. Um, and
Yeah.
Chris didn't know though. He was like, "Oh," because he hasn't read it. So yeah, so that one, and I also thought it was pretty impressive that the killer managed to take that body all the way up that shaft. The Joker guy who lost his head in the end as he came down the
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it came down on them as they were climbing up. Yeah, I don't know, but I thought that was quite impressive, dragging that dead body all the way up there to throw it on them. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty cool. Muscles.
Oh, I have to shout out to so obviously my favourite is Crispy Mabel, R.I.P. Mabel. But I have to shout out to Hot Dog Guy because every
Oh,
time that
Oh, hot
scene
dog
makes
death.
me laugh. The hot dog death. Because and that was the scene that suffered from being cut as well, from what I read from Grace's article that she sent me, as far as I could tell. But it just makes me laugh because obviously his face gets put in the his face gets put in the water and burns, and then in the next scene someone's putting the hot dog sausage in the bun. Every time it gets me, because I could just imagine them like, oh, this has got extra taste. Just
Shelley, that's
Gross.
disgusting.
oh, honestly,
Gross.
every time it gets me, I'm like, oh, and then when they open the fridge, his head's in there. Oh dear, no, the whole thing just it was a really cool death, and then just like the after effects of like the potential of extra tangy hot dogs.
Yeah, would you like him have chopped off his head and his head flown into the hot dog
Oh,
thing,
that
and
would
then
have
just
been
stayed in
cool.
there, and she went to take a hot dog out, and she pulled up his nose or something.
Oh yeah,
Oh, didn't they? That
yeah. But she
would have
pulled
been
the
boiled.
heart out, but they
But then
Yeah.
still eat the hot dogs.
it would have took longer than that. That's a bad continuation.
Mm,
Because it takes 2 hours to boil a heart, doesn't it?
yeah.
It's all muscle. So
Yeah, that's
it came
true.
brown. It should have been red still.
I'm scared that
Yeah,
Sharon knows
I'm
how
getting
long it
picky now.
takes.
me too. A bit scary.
Oh dear. Valina said, hashtag justice for Mabel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Larissa said, might have to do some inspirational quotes with sketches, posters for what we say in the chats. Valina said, I was mesmerised by the character with the walrus moustache. So yeah, Hollis.
Yeah,
I loved him. I
Yeah.
loved him. Yes.
it was
Everyone's
brilliant.
laughing at Crispy Mabel. Yeah, Matthew said, can someone post a link to the article? So yeah, I'll post that in my stories after so people can have a look. So it was such a good article you sent me, Grace. It was brilliant. Narissa said, do want to know if the BBFC cut was the same as the MPAA one? Yeah, so maybe they had different opinions on what could be cut. Yeah.
Mm.
Dawn said the pickaxe comes out through the eye. That would have been great. Yeah.
In the
The crispy
article, you'll see there's actual photos of the cut.
yeah,
You'll
yeah,
see
you do
the
see it.
pickaxe coming out the eye.
Ugh. Matthew says crispy Mabel should be a cocktail. Yeah.
Copyright me.
Little hearts on
And
it.
Narissa said, what would be in it? That's the question.
Definitely a big
Yeah.
crispy bits in it.
Yeah.
Maybe some
Like,
hundreds and thousands to give it the crisp.
like a little like a Bloody Mary, but with like, yeah, crispy bits.
Crispy heart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Matthew said not hot dog water. Ooh, yeah.
Ah, gross.
um, Dawn says Sharon has the facts about cooking hearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Larissa said, "You're scared, Shelley. Kevin should be scared." Yeah. And Melina said, "Of course, Sharon has the facts about cooking hearts."
I'll read some weird stuff.
um, so obviously we've mentioned about the twist. So the twist in it is obviously that it's Axel all along doing the killing, because when he was little, 20 years before, he saw his dad, was it, I think, get killed by Harry. So that just makes him obviously want to get revenge 20 years later. Like, why did it take him 20 years? What tipped him over the edge? So did you like the twist? Even if you saw it coming, did you enjoy the twist that it was Axel? Sharon?
Yeah. I mean, as somebody said earlier, it was one of those two. It was either Axel or TJ. There was Emma won it. It was one of those two
Yeah.
was going to be. And as soon as he fell in the water, I thought, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
And yes. But why did he take? I agree. Why did he take so long? His
Yeah.
dad was one of the supervisors, right? And so he was killed the year after. So 19 years ago, his dad was killed. Why does it take him 19 years to get? Is it because he's so traumatized that he's got a big following the legend of Harry? You know, at the end when he runs off maniacally laughing, which I thought was brilliant.
Sounded like my laugh.
Andy, I'm home, and or whatever he said was he's running off because he's talking to Harry, not his dad, right? So when he saw the murder of his father, he actually it was the killer that imprinted on him, not his dad's death. And Deborah, I love but so yeah, interesting, right?
Yeah,
Interesting. I thought,
definitely.
yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I just saw Matthew put it took him 20 years to write those poems.
Maybe.
Sorry, Grace, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, well, I think it took him 20 years only because they were having the dance.
Oh,
So there was no dance
yeah.
for
They
20
hadn't
years.
had,
And all of a sudden they're like,
yeah,
you know what? It's been long enough. Let's do a freaking dance. And that triggered him because for
yeah.
20
Yeah.
years, they didn't celebrate. The town did not celebrate Valentine's Day for 20 years. So when they do, it's like it re-triggers the trauma.
Yeah.
So that's what made him lose it.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. And like Nerissa said, significant number anniversaries can definitely be triggering, but obviously if it was 19, less significant than 20, I'd reckon, Nerissa said. But yeah, but it was like what Grace said, it must have been just because they were adamant on having this dance. Yeah. How about you, Emma? Did you like the twist? Did Chris like the twist?
Chris did, because he didn't get it, and he went, "You were right." Ah! He does it every time. He's like, "No, it's not that, Emma." I'm like, "It is." He's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "It is." But yeah, no, I wanted it to be it's TJ, isn't it? TJ's dad.
Yeah. Oh,
the mayor.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that would have
wanted it
been
to
cool.
be the mayor. I don't know why, but yeah, I did want it to be the mayor because I don't know. I don't know if I bought that he was, again, I'm a bit like, he was a little kid and he saw this trauma. Someone would have had their eye on him as well, because obviously they had to clean him up with all that blood on him. Someone had to find him. And I'm like, and he's just decided, oh yeah, that's my dad dead. Oh, I'm going to look up to you now. I'm like, what? I don't know. But I did like the little flashback that they did to explain it. They didn't really have to do much to explain that. We all sort of knew, oh yeah, okay, that's why he's done that. But yeah, I would have liked it to be a little bit more twisty than that, because I guessed it. But no, other than that, I quite liked. And I liked thinking, which one is it? And like Darren said, when the hat went down, the light went down into the, I was like, oh yeah, okay, got it.
See, I was fooled because of the little air bubbles. I was like,
So was Chris.
oh no!
Yeah. The that air bubble.
Yeah. But I think like what rewatching it this time, I thought so we always say when we read a Richard Tankersley Cusick point horror that she has busy villain syndrome. And like in this, he was a very busy villain, like almost like too busy. Like how did he get so quickly around, to do all this stuff? And he was in one scene, not the next, and clever really in one respect, but then you makes you think like, oh God, he must have been
No
shattered, the
blood on
poor
him.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no blood on him, just coming back and getting in his suit and getting out of his boiler suit. And yeah,
Yeah. He must have some
I'm
muscles
with you on
under
that.
there. That's what Sarah liked. Oh, dear. So Quentin Tarantino apparently said My Bloody Valentine is his all-time favourite slasher film.
Ah,
So where does this film rate amongst other slasher films for you, Grace?
Oh gosh. Where does it rank among the yeah, it's up there. Honestly,
Mm,
I love holiday horror. It makes me happy because it just adds it adds an element of it being more special.
mm,
Because it happens, only on this day, right?
yeah.
Halloween, My Bloody Valentine, April Fool's Day, Black
Mm,
Christmas,
mm,
New Year's Evil. I could go on. These films are special to me, and yeah, I think My Bloody Valentine really holds up. And I read somewhere that the director, when they made the movie, they set out to make something a little bit more not of the norm, not a
mm,
typical slasher. And there's definitely elements of that you see. Someone said online that I think it was the producer that says that, hey, Harry didn't really discriminate, right? Like most slasher movies, they only
mm,
women. Harry, I think there was only 5 women out of the 12 or 13 kills.
mm,
Only 5 women
mm.
were
mm,
killed, so
Yeah.
Harry just killed her.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but
Oh.
there were definitely some clever kills.
Mm,
Hopefully, you all will get to see some of the
yeah,
edited scenes that were taken out.
yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
they're
so cool.
very effective. They're super effective.
How about you, Emma? Where does this sit in, like, amongst your favourite slasher films?
Yeah, so I think it's like it's midway, so it's not quite at the top, but yeah, it's quite high. I quite liked it. I didn't think I was going
Mm.
to when I first started watching it. I was like, oh, cliche. And then I was like, well, of course it is, because this is, back in the day, this
Yeah,
isn't a new movie. And then I was like, oh no, this is getting good. So yeah, I think it ranks quite highly as well for me. I quite liked it.
yeah. Yay! How about you, Sharon?
It's quite high for me. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
Halloween level, but it's high enough, you know. Maybe
yeah,
because I just think there's a kind of a company aspect to it, like a theatre company aspect.
yeah,
It feels like
yeah.
there was a lot of characters, and yet you didn't lose track of them. And
Yeah,
I
Mm,
thought they were all really exceptional. So I think that's quite unique in a slasher.
yeah,
yeah.
So I really
that's
enjoyed
true.
that. I thought the kills were great. But yeah, it's probably in my top five.
Mm,
Easy.
yeah. No, I agree. Like, this rates really highly for me. Obviously, I know it's not the same. I think if I was thinking of 80s slashers, this would be like up there in the top three, definitely. But ultimately, obviously, Scream would always be my favourite
Yeah,
slasher.
Scream.
But
That's
obviously,
the 80s, love.
if I was
That's
looking,
not the
yeah, that's not
yeah.
80s, so it don't count. Yeah, but like if I was doing a big ranking, then yeah. But this is really high up there, and I loved it, and I'm definitely gonna keep rewatching it
Every
every
year.
year now, definitely.
Scream's not even in my top five.
Mm, yeah, and it's just so simple the way it's
I
done.
know.
It's just simple and effective, and you got that claustrophobia aspect like we was talking about, and I just think, yeah, it's just so well made. And I know if I had seen it back in the day, I definitely would have been like, oh, that was brilliant, like coming out of the
Mm,
cinema.
yeah.
So I definitely would have
One of
rated
the
it.
best
Scared the
Um,
life out of me
yeah,
back in the day.
yeah, definitely,
best location, I
definitely.
think. It's one of the best locations for slasher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Now apparently, I'm going to butcher the name, but George Mahalka, I think I've said that right. correct me if I'm wrong, approached Paramount in 2001 with the synopsis for a sequel. So this was obviously after the remake. Or was it 2009 was the remake actually? So in 2001 approached about a sequel, but due to apparently poor box office at the time in 1981 with the original film, they declined. So would you like a sequel? And how would you see a sequel playing out, Sharon?
No.
Mm.
I wouldn't want a sequel. I think he's perfect as it is.
Yeah,
I think a
I
sequel
agree.
would just. What are they going to do? Are they just going to follow him down the mine with his one arm hanging off? And I mean, what are they going to do? Do you know what I mean? No, I don't think a sequel would have been a good idea. No.
Yeah. How about you, Emma? What do you think?
I would like one because I would like him to be the grumpy old man because he got away, didn't he? Really, he's going to get out, isn't he? They're not going to. We didn't know whether they got him or not because not everyone can navigate a mine. He knows where he's going, but the police don't know anything about down there.
True.
So whether they can grab him or not, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to. So I was hoping he would get out, and then he'd become like the grumpy old man, and then he'd go on the rampage. Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, he would be warning all the kids and then go do it himself, like what my husband wanted to happen. Don't you do it. So, like the revenge story we wanted, we all wanted.
Yeah.
The one-armed bartender.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh dear. How about you, Grace? Would you like a sequel all these years later?
Yeah, you can call it My Bloody Bartender, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I mean, it would have been fun if it was done in the 80s or 90s, right? Just kind of a continuation because he lives, he's still alive and he's down there. And so it's just the feeling of like if you were to live in this town knowing that he's down there somewhere, what happened to him? So it's that constant fear looming over your head of like he's still there somewhere waiting. It would have been great if it was done, in the 80s or 90s. I was reading online that the director, George Mahelka, he had the sequel in mind called Valentine Wakes.
Ooh.
And he was, him and the producer were just kind of passing screenplays back and forth with ideas, but nothing really stuck. And then sadly, the producer passed away before anything really came up. But it would have been fun, to have a sequel back in the day. Maybe not now, but with the original cast and see where the one-armed killer might be. Maybe 5-10 years later, might have been fun.
Yeah, I think it is a shame that back in the day it didn't get a sequel. If you think of all the sequels for like the horror films back in the 80s and things like that. It is a shame it didn't get one, but I just think too much time has passed now. It needs to be like a protected film that can just be enjoyed for being a one-off, fantastic slasher film. So I don't think they should touch it again. Just leave it be, and so we can enjoy it for what it is. That being said, though, I do like Emma's idea. I could go along with that. Matthew said, "How did Axel get in and out of that outfit?" Yeah, that's so true. Matthew said, "Holiday horror makes celebrating the holidays more fun." Oh yeah. I like that.
It really does.
Larissa said, no, it's fine as it is. Matthew said, for its time, it's a great standalone. If it had been made in the 90s, it would have been a franchise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. Larissa said, Emma always wanted a sequel. Dawn said, I want a sequel too. Matthew said, one-armed bartender serving crispy Mabels.
There you go. There's the pitch.
That's what we need.
That's it. Sold.
Dawn says, my bloody bartender, laughy face, which is what you said. Oh dear, yeah. I'm can't get over bloody crispy bloody Mabels. That's like genius. But guys, thanks for like chatting with me about this. Like, it's been so fun to like revisit, and definitely, I think we definitely need more Valentine's like slasher things. That's why I'm interested to see Heart Eyes, just to see like where it ranks. Because obviously they tried with Valentine, they tried,
Yeah.
and like it's okay. But yeah, we do need we do need more holiday horror, because we get a lot of Christmas horror, don't we? Really, we
Yeah.
need more. Yeah, and April Fool's Day horror as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got April Fool's Day, but we need more around that, I think.
We need a good Easter one. We
Easter
need a good
horror.
Easter
Yeah.
one, and a good
Great
Easter
minds.
horror. Don't
Oh yeah, good Easter horror. That's a holiday that doesn't get touched.
What about that horrible Easter bunny coming after you?
Perhaps you could dress up in like a little bunny suit or something.
I think they should
Go around
have a
killing.
history of it, and it should kind of be, you know, a little bit kind of sacrificial, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Oh, that'd be so good. Oh, well, thanks, guys, and thanks for everyone who's joined
Yeah, thank
in the comments
you
as well.
all.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, and look at that! Look at that bit. Oh, that's scary. That
Ooh.
cover is
Cover.
terrifying. It is terrifying. Oh, so cool. And do check out the lovely Sharon, the brilliant Emma, and the wonderful Grace and her fab collection as well. I'm
I
always in
love Grace
awe
collection.
of Grace's
Oh,
collection. Yeah, it's
get
amazing.
to go in.
So good. And we'll see you next month. I can't remember what film we're doing, but I'll post it. It's gone out of my head. We'll probably be doing something wild. All right.
Bye,
Thanks, guys.
everyone.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
care.
Thanks for the chat. Bye.
Bye. Bye.